Michelle. Welcome to Math Your Way. Today's lesson is on the square root of binomials. We know that when we're finding a square root, we're finding a pair. So basically, we're finding numbers that multiply together to give you the number that's under the square root. So if we had the square root of 36, that's 6 times 6. We find the pair. So the square root of 36 is 6. But sometimes it's not as obvious, like the square root of 27. That's not a perfect square. So you have to find the prime factorization of this number. So you would do 9 times 3. Then you would break that down to the prime factorization, which is 3 times 3 times 3. I have one pair. This one doesn't have a pair, so it has to stay on the inside. And I bring the pair out, and I leave the one on the inside. So now that we have reviewed that, let's start off with some letters. If I had 8 squared, we know that that's 8 times A. So the pair is 1, so we leave 1A on the outside. If we had A cubed, that's A times A times A, so we have a pair. And we have one that doesn't have a pair, so that stays on the inside. And if we had A to the 4th square root, that's A times A times A times A. So we have 2 pairs. So we have A times A, which equals A squared. So A to the 4th is A squared because we have 2 pairs. So now if we throw in numbers and letters, let's say we had square root of 36, A squared. We know this is a perfect square, so the square root of 36 is 6. And we know that's A times A, that's 1 pair. So the square root of 36A squared is 6A. What if we had the square root of 81M squared and N? Well, the first thing I'm going to do is break it up into 3 different square roots. And I know this is a perfect square, 9 times 9. So the square root of 81 is 9. I know this is M times M. So this is a pair, so M comes out. But the square root of N is just N, and there's no pair, so that has to stay underneath. So 9 times M is 9M square root of N. And that is my answer. So now try this one with me. Square root of 300x cubed y. Alright? Oh, that's supposed to be 300. So the square root of 300, the square root of x cubed, and the square root of y. That's 10 times 10 times 30, my bad. That's 5 times 2. That's 10 times 3. That's 5 times 2. I'm finding my prime factorization. So 10 is 5 times 2. 30 is 10 times 3, but this can be broken again, so it's 5 times 2. I am going to now write all my prime factorizations that I got. That's the end of each tree part. I got 5 times 5 times 2 times 2 times 3. This is a pair, and this is a pair. Therefore, 5 times 2 comes on the outside. This has no pair, so that stays on the inside. And once again, y does not have a pair. And then this one is x times x times x. That's 1 pair, so 1 comes on the outside, and the other one stays on the inside because it has no pair. So let's recap. We have 10 square root of 3, x square root of x, and square root of y. So everything that's on the outside, we put together. So we have this and this. So we have 10x. Then we have square root of 3, x, and y all on the inside. So that will be your answer. Please like, subscribe, and share this video.